Lyra and the Cloud Tree. Deep in the corner of her family's garden, Lyra found something tucked under a giant fern. It was a seed, but it didn't look like any seed she had seen before. It shimmered with a soft, pulsing light, like a tiny fallen star caught in the dirt. Lyra decided to give the mysterious seed a home. She dug a small hole in the softest patch of earth and tucked it inside. "Grow well, little light," she whispered. She tilted her bright blue watering can, letting a gentle stream of water soak into the soil. The very next morning, Lyra ran outside and gasped. A sprout had already appeared. It wasn't green or brown. It was made of a swirling white mist that felt cool to the touch. It looked like a piece of a morning cloud had taken root in her garden. By the time the sun reached the middle of the sky, the sprout had grown into a magnificent tree. Its trunk was as smooth as polished silver, and instead of flat leaves, it held clusters of fluffy white clouds that smelled like rain and wild honey. A tiny bird with feathers made of bright, golden sunlight fluttered down from the sky. He landed on a low branch and chirped a melody that sounded like silver bells. Lyra smiled and named him Glim. He hopped closer, tilting his head as if inviting her to join him. Glim nudged a low branch toward the ground with his beak. Lyra realized the tree wanted her to climb. She grabbed a handful of the cloud leaves, which felt even softer than her favorite velvet pillow, and pulled herself up onto a sturdy silver limb. With a gentle whoosh, the cloud tree began to lift its roots out of the soil. It didn't fly fast. It drifted like a balloon. Lyra held on tight as they soared high above her house, her school, and the tall oak trees in the park. Glim flew circles around her, trailing golden sparks. They floated into a sea of sunset colors. Lyra reached out and caught a handful of pink mist as they passed through a stray cloud. Below them, the world looked like a tiny toy set, painted in shades of orange and purple by the fading sun. The tree drifted toward a high, flat cloud that looked like a snowy meadow. Lyra hopped off the branch and discovered flowers growing right out of the mist. These flowers didn't have petals. They were made of pure starlight. She picked one carefully, and it stayed bright in her hand. As the moon began to rise, the cloud tree gently lowered Lyra back into her garden. Glim gave one last bell-like chirp before disappearing into the stars. Lyra climbed into bed that night, the starlight flower glowing on her nightstand, knowing that some seeds grow into the most wonderful dreams.